live. Hello, everybody.
Oh, are we live?
Hey, happy Wednesday.
Hey, we're just over here just chatting away, just conversation, everything. I want to welcome everybody. It's Wednesday night. Guess where you are? And guess where we are?
Well, we're at WJZZ.
But where are you?
Thank you for tuning in to Get Down and Dirty Talking Art with Calibra the Artist.
And the wonderful Debbie LaPrade.
Amen. Hey.
And the amazing Calibra. Well, wait until you see what she's got on. So I just want to thank everybody for watching. Watch us on Facebook. I want everybody to like, share, and comment. Please, please, please. This is like the most important thing for us. And also watch us on Twitch, Twitter,
YouTube,
and YouTube,
and Facebook.
Please, and Facebook. But please watch, share. We're talking about pricing and the value of art and everything. We got a pretty interesting kind of thing. But Clevery, turn around and show them.
Oh gosh, you can't even wait for this jacket. So we're gonna go into art.
Yeah, we're gonna go. Well, this is art on her jacket.
Spin around. I'm gonna spin.
Come on, spin around.
I'm just gonna stand up.
Look at this. Right, turn around.
Look
Look at that jacket. Isn't that just absolutely amazing? That is a patch. It is an embroidered patch. It is of her angel. It is an amazing piece of art.
I'm gonna take it off now because it's hot.
She's hot.
It's hot.
I get in her car and she's got the cool air on and I'm freezing.
Because it's embroidered through.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at how absolutely. Isn't that just fantastic? And you can own one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Merch.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
The reason why I brought that today, well, why Debbie wanted me to bring it today, is we're talking about basically how to make money as an artist.
Right.
So first, I always like to think that artists, well, we undervalue ourselves, but it's because we undervalue what we do. Yeah. And we make that mistake, and it teaches other people how to value us, and they undervalue what we do.
That's
and
right.
what we really are is we're inventors, we're creators, we're
I
designers.
never thought of that. That's a really good thing.
Well, anybody that you've ever seen invented something, you know, they have to come, you know, it's...
Yeah.
we are
like they invented the microphone. Then we're inventing art.
Well, an artist had to design that.
That's right.
You know, but when we think about fine art, and most artists, it's funny, they dabble in all other aspects of life and inventions and things like that, but they can also draw. Yep. And when it gets down to the drawing part of it, we look at that as fine art, and we just kind of push it aside and put whatever value we do on it.
Yes.
So I say that with regards to design because if you are let's say even just a painter like me, that design on that jacket is a painting. You know, that's an actual painting that exists out in the world. And
exists at her house.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic.
But so I don't have to get pressed for cash and sell this magnificent one-of-a-kind piece for $200.
Right.
I can sell a jacket. I can sell other products and merchandise of that piece and many other pieces to make passive income. Right. Which in turn brings the value up of that piece.
That's right. Right. And that's what many artists don't know is they just think they got to do this one piece and I'm going to sell it for $500. But really, when it's worth $2,000.
Or really more. I mean, how much do you put on a one-of-a-kind piece?
That's a really tough question.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really tough question.
Well, because the thing is, too, when it comes to art, right?
Right.
It is just one. That is the original. There's never another original.
No, there's not.
So let's say if I designed a pair of Jordans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, everything else can be copied and fabricated, mass produced.
Yeah, just like the cars.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like the cars.
But if I made this one Model T, the original is the original. So why would I turn around and sell that for $5,000? Why would I sell it for $2,000? Why would I sell that? Is the original.
That's a really
I
interesting.
will mass produce that bitch over and over. But that's Calibri's way.
Yeah.
Calibri believes in mass production because I'm not that type of artist that's going to. I don't even know how long my hands are going to work. I don't know how long I want to feel like painting. I might feel like, and I say the artist because I do all of the art.
She does good.
So I may not feel like painting. I may feel like singing. I may feel like a different type of art. So why would I base my career, my life, my livelihood on turning yourself into a machine? Now you got to crank out art. Saturate the market with your art.
Right. But that's an interesting. But I look at me is because I work in the pottery, and every piece is just so unique. Even though I'm I always say work smarter, not harder.
Mm-hmm.
And I've learned how to, like put, not production, but every time I do a piece, I try to make it different. Because I don't want all of them to look the same. I want them to look like that one of a kind when they take that piece home. So that's to me that's really important, and I understand the undervaluing.
You undervalued.
Yeah, for a long time I undervalued.
So how is that with working in pottery? Because you really are getting, a person
getting a one of a kind.
One of a kind.
Yeah.
It can't be duplicated.
It can't
at
be.
all.
I mean, you can have a mold and you can do whatever, but each time you do it, it's different. It's just different. 'Cause I don't want mine to look like the cookie cutters that walked out the door. And people that do that, that's great. You got your production people that do production work, but even though it's still always slightly different. Everybody's piece is just, they might glaze it different or just do just the handle or maybe the size. It's always, each piece, I'd say it's touched by the artist's hands. And that, to me, it's not a factory kind of a
that
thing.
makes a difference.
It makes a difference.
Handmade.
It is handmade. It really is. So,
Well, I just want to, this conversation started, I put a post up whatever day.
During the week.
And I told artists to stop undervaluing, stop lowballing.
Lowballing,
your work.
yeah.
And what happened is, I hate to be like this because, and I get it because I'm like this too. When people want to support you, you don't want to, it started with commissions. So when people want to support you, it's hard to say that's not enough. It's hard to raise those prices on people because the everyday person doesn't have $1 million to pay you, right? But the everyday person isn't necessarily educated on the value of art, so they want to support, but they want to support with the money that they have.
That's right.
And
That's right.
what happened was, I get people a lot of times that will refer me. Somebody might want artwork or they might want just something, logos, anything creative. Yeah. And people refer who they know. So I refer Calibri, and this, I won't put it out there, but somebody wanted a portrait, a rather high quality portrait, and what her budget was really low. And it was a no.
Yeah.
It was a no for my price range.
Is that hard to say?
It's getting easier to say, but this is why I felt it was necessary to have this conversation.
Right.
Because it's hard to say no, but when you're educating people, because we actually did have that education process, and then actually I had several discussions this week with different people. Same thing. Educating them so that they understood. It's not that you're supporting per se. Well, it's not to shoot down you're supporting, but it's like anything. It's like if I write a song or if I make a beat. Kanye makes beats. Once an artist reaches a certain level, it's about their time as well. Oh, yeah. So even though it might be something I want to do, for the quality that you want, number one, you want oils, which automatically cost more. Number two, you want something realistic, which takes more time and more skill. You're paying for my skill. Right. I got 30-something years worth of skill that I've done. And then I have other stuff to do. Like, I'm actually really, really busy.
Yeah, she's got kids and,
and
so
it's like I don't have time, and this sounds horrible, but I don't have time for that $100. Yeah. Especially it's going to take me something that's 2 weeks to do for $200. That I could have worked at Wendy's for that. Really? Yeah. And that's just, if you were to approach somebody else, let's say Whitney Houston, you want somebody to sing at your wedding. You don't go to Whitney Houston and say, "Hey, I got 500, Whitney. I want the best."
That's right.
No, you pay
come
for
in
the
and
best.
Go la la la, and I'm out.
Well, you pay for
just
the
showing
best.
up. Yeah.
She's not even showing up.
She wouldn't even show up.
And I have to tell people that so that they get an understanding of what they're giving as a professional artist. Yeah. And also for people, the consumer, to be okay with going to students. Because it's okay to, if you just need a logo done, it's okay to go to a student. Yeah. And a lot of times people feel like, well, I want the quality. You have the quality with students. You do. There are students right now at CCS. Oh. There are people in high school that can draw their asses off. They're talented. They have the same skill level. When I was in high school, I did designs for Pepsi. I did work for hotels. The quality was there. And I can afford to say, okay, it felt good to make $200 to do
Yeah,
something,
yeah,
when
yeah.
you're 16, 17.
Oh, yeah.
And you have time. You have time, you need the money,
And
you're
the
building your
experience.
portfolio. Yeah.
The experience
Yeah,
is
building your portfolio.
Yeah, yeah, right.
So I just say that for the consumer, don't go to if you're ready to go to a professional artist, be prepared to pay professional money. And for a professional artist, be all right with saying I'm professional and charging your rate, because it takes away from everything else that you're
That's
going to
right.
do.
That's right.
You know.
And if you guys want to call in, what is the number?
It's 313-355. I don't know.
I wonder if they can put it up on our screen.
And I got the restream.
Yeah.
My mind just caught a blank. I'm sorry, y'all.
That's all right.
But have you had experiences with customers wanting commissions from you?
Yeah, some of them, do, and they just think that they should only pay like a couple $100, and I'm going, this is a one of a kind, and I got to actually study what they want, kind of a thing. If it's one of my pieces that I already have done, it's fine. But if it wants a commission, it's really hard to put a price up there. It's really, I find it very hard.
And I think that's even more, because you're not even just, like you said, you're not getting something that already exists. You're coming and saying, I need you to do this custom thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to design for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I want it professional, and I want your skill, and I want it to be you because you're the best, but I only want to pay.
Right. I know. It's like
I want the best materials.
That's right. It's like, it's an honor and it's exciting, but sometimes it's scary because if I do it, I don't want to disappoint them. And what if I do it and they don't like it? And that's the thing. Yeah. I'm going to start, you have to take that deposit, and say you have to pay at least half down. I don't do it, but I'm going to start doing that. Because if something happens and they don't like it, I'm sorry, this is non-refundable. Mm-hmm. Because art is art.
Have you ever had someone not like a piece that
I've never had anybody too.
Yeah.
But I just kind of
I had somebody.
You did?
I did. It's the piece that with the wedding, which everybody likes.
I love
it. It wasn't that they didn't like it. It was that once they had a chance to sit with it, they felt like it should have been, they wanted more to it, And see, the thing with when you get into commissions, and especially when you devalue and don't educate a person, because this was a relative, so a lot of times they kind of underestimate, the value of things and the time that it takes and the skill. Mm-hmm. So what they got was a painting that was really worth about $25,000.
It was so cool.
And I just charged them for the materials. So they didn't really appreciate it. So it's like, oh, can you think you can do this? Can you give me my shit back? And right now, I have that painting now.
Do you still have it?
I still have it. And I actually have prints. Since then, there have been several people that have offered prints, offered money. I haven't done anything with it yet, but I could have made that $25,000 off of it, and still, I actually will. But again, that's when you're giving somebody that treats it like a service, and they treat it. I go ahead and just allow my. I'm one of those diva artists. I know.
Yeah.
I put the claws in it because it's a treat for you to get something from me, because I don't have time to paint like that. So for the people that do get commissions from me, it's really out of love, because I don't like commissions.
Nope.
And I charge for my work. I put a lot of effort into my work, and I charge a lot for it. So I expect you to appreciate it like you just got something from, basically like Whitney Houston just wrote you a song.
That's right.
That's how I want you to appreciate getting an original piece of art.
And I think that's how they should look at each artist.
They should.
They should look, you're getting a Whitney Houston, you're getting a whatever famous artist out there piece of work.
Yeah.
I think that's really important.
Let's take a quick break. Just want to remind you guys that you're watching Get Down and Dirty Talking Art on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world.
Yes, and I'm Debbie LaPratt, and this is Calibri Harris, the artist.
Calibri, the artist.
The artist. This is Calibri, the artist.
The artist.
The artist, and I'm Debbie, the artist.
And I just wanted to, again, why I say the artist. Number one, because my name means so many other things.
Yes.
But also, number two, because I don't just paint.
Mm-hmm.
I do sing, I dance, I do everything. So when I say it is the artist, you getting the artist. I'm the one.
That's the one. The one and only. The one and only. Should we have a drum roll? And she's coming to the right.
Yes. So I feel like that because I don't do commissions, I'm like, I'm like the Aretha Franklin of art as far as my attitude goes. Yeah. So if I do take the time and do a commission for you, I'm not going to do it for $100. And to me, that's insulting to a professional artist.
Yeah.
And it's inconsiderate for a student artist because you're saying that they're not good enough to do this work and the professional artist isn't good enough to be paid.
Right.
So which is it that you want?
That's right. That's right. Yeah, because there's so many artists out there, that I think they really undervalue themselves. I think a lot of them, they don't think that their work is worth it.
I think people just don't really have an understanding of what to charge. So I did have several that sparked conversations on what to charge. People asking what per square inch and stuff like that. And I think it really breaks down to understanding your market. For artists, professional artists, you are selling.
Yeah.
So it's understanding who's purchasing your work.
Right.
What collections your work is in already. I'm blessed to be able to have work in pretty significant collections throughout the country, throughout the world. Actually, I've sold across the world, but there are a lot of professional artists who have as well. And if you have, let's say, Switz Beats has one of your art pieces. You don't turn around and sell a piece for $100. You don't sell a piece for $300. You become renowned. You pay attention to what collections you're in. The market's what people are spending for fine art.
Yeah.
There are collectors that spend millions of dollars for art. Number one. There are collectors that can afford your art. I think it's that too.
It is.
Sometimes we feel like people can't afford it, so we shy away from it. We don't want to ask that price. Right. But it's worth it.
It is worth it. Yeah. Maybe we bring some pictures up.
Sure.
You guys want to throw some pictures up? That would be great. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He picking and choosing. All right. So this is getting into passive income. So this is actually a poster, and I have this. Well, I'll put it up. This is actually a poster. So this is a portrait of my mother.
I didn't know that.
It is.
I love the colors.
I like vibrant colors.
I love vibrant colors.
But I have artwork. The original is oil, and a lot of my originals are not for sale, or they're in private collections, or just what have you. And I'm not somebody that's gonna paint $10,000, or I'm sorry, 10,000 paintings. I'm not gonna paint. Oh, you gotta paint a painting a day if you want to make money. No, I painted this one, and I spent a lot of time on it. So I'm gonna make money off of this one.
Yeah.
Also, I believe that artwork can be in everyone's house. So, artists, this actually saves your fingers, and it helps you to make money.
Right.
Having posters of your work.
Yeah.
The difference between this and an archival pigment print. Sometimes you have collectible prints. Those are more valuable. Right. It's a limited edition. But posters like these are for the everyday person that just wants to decorate their home.
But enjoy something that's an original. It's not from one of the local stores.
Exactly.
Exactly. It's like they
like your work. Hey, I like your work.
Yeah.
Joe Schmo, I really want to have that in my house. I got $100 for you. I'm not. I got $150, $200. Well, you can't get the original, but you can get a poster.
You can actually
brought that.
Look at that. Look at that.
So, and they're framed. It's quality, but that's something like that can go on somebody's wall. That's right. They get to enjoy it. You still have the original holds its value, no matter whether
it even goes up in value, doesn't it?
It goes up in value.
Yeah.
The more recognizable your Mona Lisas are, we'll say that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It drives the values up on the originals.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, it is. So if you want to put another piece up, go ahead. We'll just have our little show tonight. Now, this is one of my pieces. Everybody should know this is my Jail Hudsons collection. The story on this one is I actually go around the city and I call it press and run. Now, this is an original. I found the photograph. The building was gone, and the actual piece it was on the front of the building is huge. It's like I'd say about 3 feet by 2 feet, because when I seen it, I was like, wow. So this is a smaller version that anybody can enjoy. What I did is I took my photograph and I actually made the original. I made it, and then what I do is then from there I dry it, then I fire it, and then I take it and I make a mold of that, so I can reproduce this, things. And I always sign my work with the fingerprint on the corner. And if you flip my work around, which you can't see it, I have all my fingerprints on the back, and I kind of call it my DNA things.
I like that.
So, but it's like I have a whole Hudsons collection.
How many of these would you say you sold?
You know what? I never really counted. Maybe 40. 50, I don't know.
How much do these go for?
This piece right now is $269. Now I also do it on like a poster board. With the pictures of the Hudsons in
really
back,
like
which is
that one
really,
in the back.
it kind of got me out of
Yeah.
it. But I love Detroit, which everybody knows. Call me Detroit Deb. And everything that I do is all representing of Detroit. So that is just one of my pieces.
And I like that you have the molds, because it's something that multiple people can enjoy.
Yes.
Instead of just doing one, that's it.
Yeah.
The one person that has it, once
Yeah.
it's gone, it's
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
Multiple people can enjoy that. It's really
That
nice.
was one of the hardest pieces I did. I was working at home, and I finished it at 2:30 in the morning. The piece, before I made the mold, I was dancing in my basement. Nobody was around. I couldn't call nobody, but I finished it. It took me I'd say about 8 hours just to actually do it. Then you got to go through your whole process of drying, and you got to pray that when it goes into the kiln that it doesn't crack or explode, which has happened many times. You got this beautiful piece, and all of a sudden at 300 degrees you hear a poof, and you're going, okay. You open up the kiln, and it's all, everywhere. So it's a very it's hard, but it's just fun.
For those first ones, like the original first one, are those higher? Are those more expensive when you sell them?
No, they were cheaper, because I didn't value my work.
Okay.
I didn't
think
value.
moving forward, those was.
Anybody who's got those are the price has gone up significantly.
Yeah, because that's basically the mold that you're
It is.
basing all the other ones off
Yeah,
of.
those are all pottery. Those are all made in I don't know if anybody realizes, but they're actually made from a clay. And it is a whole technique that I have developed myself. It's my own technique. My work is my work. Kind of thing. I've been doing it for a long time, and I keep wanting to change and change and change. I don't stay with the same thing because I get bored.
You get better.
Thank you.
You get better.
Thank you.
Really, your work gets better and better each and every single time. And
Thank
I
you.
watch you put the thought and effort into your new ones.
Yeah.
Like you did with the Rouge plant.
Oh God, yeah.
Like that has to be way more. That has to be like
I know.
2,000, and then all the other ones are like.
Yeah, So I'm starting to value my work more, because I can remember maybe 10 years ago, if I had a manhole cover. I don't know if you can put one of the pictures up. I think it's a Detroit manhole cover. It says Detroit on it, and I sold it because I kept thinking, well, it's not really worth that much. I sold it for $69. I know. Just, so anybody, if you guys got one of my Detroit manhole covers, it's,
You got it for a steal.
Yeah, you did. You did. Then one day I woke up and went, what? But I really realized that pricing. One of my artists sent me a picture of this girl's work. And it was a very small piece, and I told her it was just one of her first pieces, and I says, okay, I probably undervalued it because it was very, very tiny, and it was her first piece, and I said about $60. But I says, and I told her to call me, and I can talk to her about it. I mean, it was very, very tiny. But I says, the ways you can keep going and make more money on it, because always the first one out is, because I even look at my first bit of work and I'm going, whoa,
And that makes a difference. It's more so once you get into that professional level, when you're confident.
Yeah.
You have your technique. You know how to do this. You have quality products that you're using.
Yeah.
That cost. Quality costs.
It does. Just firing the kiln and go and get the clay and the glaze and the things and the time and everything. It's a process. I don't do the wheel. Everything is done. It's called slab rolling. Everything is done with a rolling pin. So yeah, but it's very cool. If you want to put another picture up of one of, we don't care which piece of art. We'll just go ahead, Derek. Throw something out there for us. And if you guys are enjoying it, please make a comment. There we go.
Also, that's more passive income. This is actually still the angel.
Is that your angel?
That's
Okay.
piece. That's from off of a sweatshirt.
It is amazing. It is so beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. And her angel, it is, how big is your angel?
It's 4 feet by 4 feet.
It is fantastic. It is so fantastic. When you see it, it's a statement piece. It's like anybody to have an angel. It's just...
And that's really what, that's why I wanted to put it on different things too.
Yeah.
Is because it's one of those pieces that most everybody likes. I haven't run into anybody that didn't like it.
Oh God, yeah.
And artists, that's really a big deal. If you create something that is like a hit, like a song, like music, if it's a hit, you stick with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's something that most people want. So to sell that to one person, sell it at low rates, and then sometimes you have collectors that are really douches about, I don't want anybody to have a copy. I don't want any. Remember, you're inventors, you're designers. You created an image. That's your image, copyrighted. That's yours.
Right.
To do what you want to do with it.
Right.
Put it on whatever you want to put it on. Let people enjoy it how they want to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can't. Everybody doesn't even have the wall space to hang up a big old picture. Maybe it doesn't go with that, but they might want.
I always say I got a saying for that. Art doesn't have to match the sofa.
It doesn't, but
a lot of people do.
Really, I'm gonna match certain stuff. But
I always say art should, like, when you look at a piece of art, and if there's something there that makes you tingle or you really like it, then that's the piece for you. I always say that. It's like when you stand at a piece and you go, wow, that says something to you. It's just, because like when I went to Paris and I walked in and there was that piece of artwork, it was like, and I knew it right then and there. And every day I look at that piece, it makes me happy. That's how I say art should do. It should be like an experience for people and stuff like that. So it's like, so that's kind of our thing,
So where do you sell your work? Where do you sell art?
I do a lot of art shows, and I'm just now breaking into the gallery type of thing, and it's different. I've done art shows almost 40 years. I started out just general going to art shows. It's like, it just seems like a minute. Okay.
Tell us about Artisan Market.
Okay, I started Artisan Market almost 18 years ago. I was living in Sterling Heights, and my neighbor was she worked at the mall, and she says, why don't you get together and why don't you open up a holiday pop-up? And I says, well, and she's at Laurel Park Place, and I go, where in the heck is Laurel Park Place? And we went out there, and it was a November and a December, because the shows kind of start lowering at that time of year. And so we just kind of, he brought up one of our pieces. I don't know if anybody can see it. Okay, that's right. And so we got together. I went to all my artist friends. I said, what do you think about doing a holiday pop-up? Now, you're talking green. You're talking so green. We went in there. We decided to do it. There was like about 35 of us, and we decided to split the work time. And we had a manual MasterCard machine. We wrote, everybody had a tag, and you put your initials on it and your price. We took that. And then we hand wrote everything out. We had a cash box. And the best story is where we put our money at night. In the microwave. Till we got robbed from a fellow. It was very sad. It was from a fellow artist. His wife stole it from us. But the thing is, my thing was to give, because you're at an art show, and so many times people are going, well, where else are you going to be? 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 Yeah. So we decided this gives artists a home. And it was given a different format in a mall, because you don't find art in a mall.
Yes.
And it went on for almost 18 years. And it was a very success. Met some amazing, amazing artists, and they've grown into some, kind of a thing. So it was really, really fun. We had, it was great. It was just really great. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for watching Get Down to Dirty Talking Art on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world.
Yes, and we're talking about pricing and art and the quality of art and just really bringing art awareness to people.
Yeah.
And how,
I wanted to touch on, because you had made a powerful point about consumers looking for where you're going to be next.
Yes.
And also, with you being in the mall, it's a unique place to shop for art.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that goes into selling. A lot of times, traditionally, when we think about art, both artists and consumers, we think about one market. We think about fine arts, and we think about going to a gallery.
Yeah.
And you don't have to sell art in a gallery.
No.
You don't have to sell art on a canvas. You can put art on anything, and you really get it to the people that are looking for art.
Mm-hmm.
There are people that are hungry for art.
Yes, they are.
And the average everyday person, they're not into galleries and stuff like that. Or they think that they got to have a ton of money. Go to where the people are.
That's right.
Give them stuff that they can afford.
That's right. That's right.
And they'll love you for it.
That's right. And that's what so many of the art shows, because there's two types of people. There's the artists who do, the fine arts and do the galleries. Mm-hmm. And then there's artists like me who actually go and do the art shows. It is a lot of work. It's a tremendous amount of work. Calibri knows, she helped me. From your tent to your walls to your stock to your unloading. You deal with weather and everything. But you're meeting a very interesting consumer, a group of different types of people.
And it's awesome networking. I didn't do the art shows per se with showing work, but I did do events where I'd set up and I'd do paint parties where you sit in and you paint. And that's another market, people, they know that you teach art, they know that you are an artist, there's just so many ways to make money.
There is.
As an artist,
There is.
But I would clean up.
Oh, I bet you would.
I'd clean up. I'd make like $12,000 every single weekend. And to the point where I started to need help and couldn't get help. Because a lot of artists were like, well, I don't know, how to do that. Basically, how to get into that. I'm doing galleries, I'm doing this, but what do you mean drawing caricatures? Or what do you mean teaching art? Or what do you mean this? But in the meantime, you're starving trying to figure out how to sell this one painting.
That's right.
Or have a gallery pick it up and take whatever percentage they're going to take.
That's right. And what do they take? Do they take 40 or do they take 50 or 30?
It depends on the gallery.
Sometimes take 30.
Very rarely. Usually it's 50% or 40% or something along the lines of 40 or 50%. Mm-hmm. If you're lucky, you can get a gallery that only takes 30, but usually it's 40 to 50%. Okay. And that shit sucks. Because especially,
it does.
I mean, when you have a piece, because a lot of times, until you've made it in that realm, right? Fine arts is about collectability. So they're looking for artists that are creme de la creme, well known and established.
Right.
So until you've made that, once you're competing, it's like being in the NBA, basically, when you're doing the fine art market. Yeah. So they're looking until you reach LeBron James, you're whoever's not LeBron James.
That's right.
That means you can't charge $1 million prices because they don't know you yet. Yeah. So you have to come in charging maybe a couple $100 or maybe a couple $1,000, and then you have to split that with the gallery.
But the gallery also does all the marketing and stuff like that. That's where it's a little different.
Yes and no.
Yeah. Some do.
Yes and no.
We know.
Because the thing is, with galleries, there's not really a lot of marketing that goes into it. It's more so a list, you know. It's almost like a club. Yeah. For the people that are looking for fine art, they know where to go. For the galleries that are selling fine art, they know who to reach out to. So they're marketing selectively. You're not going to see a commercial. When have you ever been watching TV and be like, hey, come down to such and such? They don't do that. They're not promoted to the average Joe.
That's right.
So you're getting selective marketing. And then out of that selective pool of people, maybe they select you.
Yeah.
So, and then, again, your time, the quality of the work, because now that you're selling fine art in a gallery, it has to be high quality.
It has to be very high quality.
I'm going to show. I put some canvases.
You want to put some more? Go ahead and put another photos of maybe of Calibri's.
I wanted to show the difference. I have 2 canvases. Because Michael's had a sale on canvases.
And all the artists in Detroit, there's no canvases
But
left.
this is Just a regular, this is a 2-pack 18 by 24 inch canvas.
Okay.
So these are, I think, a half of inch is 2 in here, right?
Right.
These are about a half an inch. This is not the gallery quality.
Okay.
This is not what you
We had
can
talked
paint
about
on.
that the other day.
But this, unfortunately, is what most artists can afford.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Especially when sales come out like this. This, I think, was $15. You're getting 2 canvases, but these canvases get warped if you don't have them framed. It's just the quality is
didn't
not
know
there.
that.
It's staples on the back, which, you know, if somebody's putting it on their walls, they're scratching up their walls.
Right.
Just the high-end buyer doesn't want this. But the average artist doesn't know that until they get into that realm. Then you have something like this, which is a gallery wrap canvas. This is one. You see how much thicker this one is for this one
That
canvas.
was that 2 inches?
This is, I think, 1.5 inches
Okay.
thick.
Okay.
The back is wrapped, not stapled.
Oh, I see the
So you see
difference
how
with
it
the wood
wraps
around
in
it. Yes.
Here, it's like a 2 thing or whatever, and it's smoother. So for this one canvas, I think it's like $50-something, which is not bad because it's coming from Michael's. Now, if you go to Dick Blick, it's all right. Sorry, Dick Blick, I need some sales. This is just a side point.
What?
I frequent Dick Blick too much to not get coupons and sales and discounts all the time. Michael gives you discounts all the time.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of emerging artists will go there.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, you have to still spend much higher. So this is
I didn't know
$15
that.
for 2. Here's $50 for 1.
And so that's why the value. And is the
Yeah.
canvas different?
It's
It's
no,
it's
the
the
actual
same
canvas
canvas.
is
Okay.
the canvas is the same.
Okay.
But you still figure, okay, you spent $50 on your canvas. You get tube of oil is $20.
I had
Or
no
you can get the, you know, the first ones, which are like $6 or whatever, but they're not the same.
Right.
So you figure you spend $20, even if you work with me. I do like 5 colors.
Yeah.
Period.
If you want, put one of Calibri's pieces up if
So
you guys can.
let's say you do $100 worth of paint. That's $150 plus your time.
Yeah.
And let's say you go and say, all right, I'm going to sell it for $500. Now you got to split it. And you just made $250.
That's right. That's right. That's right. You know.
Which means you really just made $100.
That one's good. Whoops, not that
They
one.
can't see that yet.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the point is, it's about who you want to market to.
That's
you know?
true.
And in the day and age of social media, artists, it's really easy for you to reach out to your audience. If you are at those art shows, if you are in the malls, if you are teaching directly, if you're working and doing stuff, engaging directly with the people, they're buying directly from you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Is that the same piece that we had up?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
doesn't have. They can't see that yet.
Oh,
though.
okay. Okay. Okay.
He's pulling up all the several different
Yeah, we
emails.
20 emails we emailed them 5 minutes before we got on the show. So, but we're just trying to show people the difference. So, if you guys got any comments, please comment. Please, it's really important because it is a tough thing. You know, I know Mark Loeb has had a couple classes in the value and stuff like that. You know, because a lot of artists don't look at their time, and there's all these factors in the background. You know, all these factors, and it's just the preparing of it and getting it. It's just a lot. It's
And
just
just valuing what your cost of living is, period. What do you have to live on? How many pieces do you crank out? What's the quality of those pieces that you crank out? And how much do you need to afford to live on? If you're cranking out something that you're spending, let's say you spend 40 hours on it like a job.
right.
You know, and it's not McDonald's, because if you're going to make a McDonald's wage off of this, then you go work at McDonald's.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to sell a piece off of, you know, something. If it take me a week, it doesn't take me a week. A lot of paintings take much longer. But if it were to take me a full 40 hours or whatever, I'm not going to turn around and sell that for the same amount that I could have went and picked up a McDonald's shift.
That's right.
You know,
That's
for
right.
you to get an asset, something that appreciates in value. You know, that's something also that we have to consider. It's like, I'm glad you talked about the car. It's almost like building, well, no, cars depreciate, but it's like building money,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're creating something that is tangible. You can literally take it to the bank. It adds to your collection. You can pull the equity from that
That's
art.
right.
It's never going to be worth less than what you paid
That's
for.
right. That's right.
You know, immediately once a client gets it, they're going to, even if they spent $100 for it, it's going to be worth thousands. It's something they take to their children,
Yeah.
pass along,
Yeah.
and you need to treat it that way.
That's right.
You
If
know?
you guys want to put a piece of artwork up, go right ahead. We want to show some of our people, some of our. This is just happens to be another one of my Hudsons collections. This is another logo of Hudsons, and it's just. I just love Detroit. Everybody knows that. So it's just one of my pieces. So it's a Hudson's piece. It's part of my collection. There's 3 pieces in this collection. That is the J.L. Hudson's. It was, I think that one was on the windows of Hudson's. You know, it was like the camp, think of Hudson's and stuff. So, and that was another hand built mold because, of course, they weren't nowhere around to do it. So I did a lot of research and stuff like that. So that was kind of my my pieces. But every piece is done in ceramic, fired, glazed, and my signature. So every time you get one, it's like you get like one of Calibri's one of a kind original. You get one of my one of a kind originals, and it's just all kind of thing, So it's like. But
go ahead and pull up the other one.
Yeah.
Because I got some more questions for you.
This is actually taken from a Detroit Manhole cover. I actually went into the city, and what I call my press and run, where I actually go and I actually do the impression right on the piece. But this piece was so big, and every time I made it, it was cracking. So, yeah, I'm banging on the table, everybody. So I actually we made this mold, and I have different ways of doing molds. And, of course, I do the same technique where I roll my clay out, and then I press it in there. But it is found out through the city. It's the Spirit of Detroit hand on a Manhole cover. That's all through the city. And it's like, so people, my pieces are just kind of like historical pieces that people see on their, they see it on their everyday journeys, but I don't think they really pay attention.
Well, I think that adds to it the value and the uniqueness of it, though.
Yeah.
Because you see it in your everyday until you don't see it anymore.
That's right.
It's one of those things, you miss it once it's gone. And
it's like I had another Manhole cover. It was where the arena is, and it was on a side street. And we were actually brushing off because the manhole was really dirty, but it had Detroit on it. I don't know if they can pull it up. If they can, it's fine. If they can't, and I was actually cleaning the manhole, and I used to run around the city with my clay and just doing all kinds of impressions. The guy comes up to me and he says, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, nobody's ever asked me. People just walked over me and just kind of like looked at me, and I had cops and everything. And so I looked at him with no, please do not take offense, anybody, but I told him I was hired by Kwame to clean each and every manhole cover off in the city. And the guy looked at me. I lasted about 3 seconds. I burst out laughing. I couldn't stand it anymore, So that's what I kind of do, is run around the city and just, somebody says I'm the history keeper. I'm keeping his, but those manholes are not around the city that much.
Exactly.
They're almost gone. Then they're worn down, and they're replacing them with these new ones. So it's my treasures of the city.
Something that you actually went and took the time to do, and get an impression of something that was authentic and
right. Yeah.
That's not a small feat.
I know. If you guys can pull up the picture of me sitting there holding that piece, I gotta brag about this piece. This is my new. That's the one. Yeah, this is the one. Yes.
That's that train station.
Yes.
Bringing it back.
Yes. This is the very first piece. This is of the historic train station, or Michigan Central Station. I admired this building for many years. And I thought with the rebirth, and I also have the picture of the ceiling tile that I made into a small tile. I contacted the architecture firm, and they sent me photos. And then I have another piece of the actual, the beautiful ornateness of the columns that are there. So I'm selling the first 10. You get a little bit of a discount price, and it goes up to $2. It's $269 for the first 10, but then it goes up to $289. So it's
No, the first one should be the highest one.
oh, well, that's only. I already sold it. I got 2 sold. And
Yeah.
one lady's putting it in her over her sink, and then this other gentleman was just one of my collectors and stuff like that. But
Well,
I've
I
had
hope you guys understand the jewels that you're getting when you're getting a
It's the
fresh, hot off the press Debbie LaPratt one, because she gets excited when she
God.
she does these, like, and it turns out she's like,
I know. It's like I did it.
you know, and I want people to really understand the quality and the value that
Thank you.
you're getting and what you put into it. Because otherwise, this is when people don't understand the value. That's how it ends up in a thrift store and you know, in estate sales. And, you know, because people don't really know what all went into it.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
You know, I got some. I must brag. I had a cityscape, and the city contacted me, and Kevin Orr has one of my pieces hanging in Washington D.C. And I have another customer who, another customer who.
This goes back to whose collection are you in?
That's right. That's right. That's right. So I'm pretty proud. And a couple other people in the city have a couple of my pieces.
Yes,
so.
Kevin Orr.
Yeah, he helped bring the
she's in
city
Kevin Orr
back
collection.
from bankruptcy.
And then you could turn around and regular Joe Schmo can get it for.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Debbie's nicer than me.
I know. I'm getting there. I am
sound
getting
a
there.
diva.
I am getting there. I am. I am. You
And
know?
it's not to be. I'm joking about the diva thing. I am always very. I'm thrilled and flattered when people really do like my work. Because
Oh,
when you're
it just doesn't make you
when
feel
you're
good.
creating,
It's your
yeah,
self-esteem.
You don't know what it's gonna. You're doing it, and you don't really know whether it's gonna be good or not to
Yeah,
anybody
that's
else.
right.
So when people like it, it's exciting.
It is.
It's a delight. But that still doesn't undercut what goes into it. So, and the work and the talent and the skill that goes into it. A lot of effort. A lot of literally blood, sweat, and tears. It's an experience.
Right. And sometimes you're so
Sometimes
tired, but
painting.
you got to finish this piece. Like if
Yeah.
I have an art show, I get on mode. I get on work mode. I'm like, okay, I've got to start working. You know, because I have a couple shows coming up. I have like the Mount Clemens Art Show, and then I have Kensington State Park coming up Memorial Weekend, and then I have Palmer Park, which I'm very excited about. You all come out and see us all. There's going to be a lot of great artists. I have a thing, and you have a show coming up. We're going to talk about your thing.
Yeah, we can talk about black.
Yeah.
So this is a great opportunity for, since Detroit is predominantly African American, Black is going to be June 24th and 25th. It's the weekend after Juneteenth, done strategically. It's going to be at 8711 Grand River. That's the Riverside building in Detroit.
It's an amazing building. That's where we had our other event at.
Yes. So Black is 2 days. It's everything black. So first day it's art exhibit, and the second day is a full just black market, so to speak.
So any vendors, if anybody's interested.
Yeah, email me, danahanarts@gmail.com. So, and I'll have the flyer up or whatever. But it's an opportunity for black folk professionals to get into art investing and understand what it is. Because it's a market, number one, usually the top 1% of wealth, period, are the people that we're used to investing in art.
That's right.
And as millennials, like myself, there are black professionals that want to invest, and the
black
market,
art is really a hot market right now.
It is a hot market. So if you guys know anything like Rocket Road, like how, whenever they discover that black people are doing it, automatically becomes hotter. It's funny because just decades ago, black art wasn't even considered fine art. It was considered arts and crafts to the elite. So now that people are discovering the emotion that goes into black art, it's a hot ticket. So which is great for Detroiters and black artists because it makes it more valuable. So I say this to say,
amazing. Oh my
the
God.
country are sweeping over Detroit right now, to just grab up this art made by black people. And what I don't want is for black people to miss out on these investment opportunities.
That's right.
So I want to put people in front of some of the best artists, educate them on what it is, what it means, the type of opportunities that come with it, from having equity lines of credit in your art collection, from taking debt, borrowing against it. I'm sorry. You can have an art collection and use it to buy real estate, but people don't tell you that, and that's not something that we know.
We have to have a show on that.
Well, and this is why we're talking about
Yeah,
it,
we
because
just feel it's really important.
artists need to know this as well.
They do.
That's why you can't, if you can't undercut your pieces, because you're doing a disservice to yourself. You're doing a disservice to the person who's buying your art, because now they don't realize the value of it. They just spent $100 for it. They think it's worth $100. No, it's $5,000. But you have a $5,000 asset, and you can take that to the bank as a $5,000 asset if it's appraised properly.
That's right.
And artists, it's important for you to own some of your own pieces as well. Have a collection. Don't just sell up all of your pieces. You don't trade assets for money. Money does depreciate. Art does not. It appreciates. So you make sure you have a few good pieces in your collection, so you can do the same thing. Take that shit to the bank.
That's right. That's right. Pull up with the trailer. There you go.
You're cranking all of these pieces and giving away 500, or thousands. I don't care if it's thousands. You're giving away all of your assets, and now at the end of your life, your family doesn't have anything.
That's right.
Artists, we just got to value ourselves more.
That's right. That's right. Oh yeah, I can't believe our show's almost over with. Yeah. It's like, God, it went so fast, But you guys, please like, share, subscribe. Any comments, please pass this on to your artist friends. We're just trying to support artists, help artists, really bring the awareness up to the people, to the consumers that, art is very valuable. Maybe my piece is going up now. My train station.
No matter what, it's going to be valuable regardless because of what you do.
Right.
And the fact that you keep them at a reasonable price, God bless you for that.
Yeah, well, they're going to be going up. They are going to be going up.
It's still reasonable. It's something where somebody can own an original piece of artwork, and on a Chrysler budget.
Yes, yeah. This is like, I own a couple of really cool pieces of art. I want more, but right now I'm not there, but I'm going to be. I'd like to have my, I even got artwork that I got to hang up yet. I think we all do. But, So yeah, there's just so many artists. Please look at your work, really value your work, and and just really think of different ways to get your work. It is hard to get your work, out there to the public. It is just sometimes, if you're, I only know the art shows, but I know there's other ways. I'm working on, websites and stuff like that. But there's so many people.
Well, you can't sleep on word of mouth.
No,
word of mouth is a very effective marketing tool, and it's free.
Yes.
Well, if you're paying for an art show, it's not. But
yeah.
It's much less expensive than doing different advertisements. I always bring up Jiffy Corn Mix. They are the second in marketing behind Pillsbury.
Really?
Yeah, and Pillsbury, and they don't even have a marketing department. You've never seen the Jiffy commercial, never seen the Jiffy ad, but they're second right behind Pillsbury.
Yeah,
and Pillsbury does the dough boy.
You got the boy. You got the Pillsbury dough boy.
They do all of these trips and whatever's, but at the end of the day, the people just need to see it. They need to see what it is, and they need to like it. So as long as you're connecting with the people, that's really all you need.
Right. That's it. That's it. That is exactly it. So.
I did All Things Detroit.
Yes.
A few years ago. Well, not a few, a while back, but I did it, and I did a paint party there. I didn't make much money there, but it was like a walking advertisement.
Yes.
I made the rest of my year off of All Things Detroit. From people just having my cars, hey, I want to do this, hey, I want to do this, fundraisers. And from there, people, hey, I heard about you doing this, hey, you doing this. When people refer me, hey, that artist, hey, can you come? I can't do it for $100, but hey,
Yeah.
Just don't knock word of mouth.
That's right.
Knock word of mouth.
That's right.
So.
That's right. So what are we going to say on a positive note?
You can sell art. It's okay.
Sell art,
Be okay with your price.
Yeah.
Know your worth. Your worth is your client's worth too. You're giving something that's an asset to them. So it's important that both of you understand the value of this asset that you're agreeing to create.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
because
it's an investment.
There is, because there's a lot of artists out there. There's a lot of emerging artists. We know some fantastic artists. We do. So just be aware. We're going to be showing you some of them. Thank all. I think we're done here.
Yes.
Yes. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you
for tuning in. We'll see you next Wednesday.
Okay. Bye.